Welcome back to HAS 518 Fundamentals of Subsurface Hydrology Traditional Lectures. These again are meant to supplement the Soil Buddy version of the course, and this specifically is going to talk about concepts related to transient flow. In this sequence of lectures, you'll build on your understanding of steady state flow through homogeneous vertical columns, and you'll see how we transition from one steady state to another steady state condition, so what the transient looks like. And in particular, we'll look at two types of boundary conditions, a type 1 Dirichlet and a type 2 Neumann boundary condition. The challenge for these lectures is to have you make the connection between the head distributions through time, those transients, and the flow equation, so you can connect the visual representation with the mathematics. Ultimately, what we're looking for is a better understanding of what steady state and transient mean at the whole column scale and locally within the column. These lectures were an experiment in seeing about real-time quizzes, so I'd give you something like this and you should be able to answer this in about 10 seconds. So the idea is to give you an idea of just how readily available this information should be. In this case, the answer is that the divergence of the flux equals the change of storage with time. This is simply something you should memorize. This is a sentence that should be burned into your brain and should come just rote when asked. I'd love to say that I intended to ask this as a Jeopardy type question, but let's just go with it. So this is the answer, and the question would be, what type of boundary condition is this? So that's a type 1 or a Dirichlet boundary condition. It is the type of condition, no matter what type of problem you're solving, it means that the actual property that's being solved for is defined on that boundary at every location and every time. So this one, if you were to look at the flow equation, what would you be looking for to indicate that the system is under steady state? The right-hand side, remember, is telling you the change in storage with time. So if that were set to 0, or of course if the left were set to 0, but that's unusual. You'll usually see the right-hand side set to 0 to indicate steady state conditions.